Alright, I'm back. I'm just finishing up the last tightening of the last nut on this. I get my hole line up again on the hex. So I got all three of them tightened now, and as you see, it drops down very nicely. Alright, so we got that all together. So I'm assuming the back will go on next. That would be my guess on this.
And an Allen wrench, actually it's an Allen wrench, has the slots in the bottom, and we're going to put the finish side in. To do that, we need to turn this up and like this, and we're going to match it up to the brackets we had on the back. Now, something to keep in mind, if I can show you from this angle, something to keep.
Okay, so what we're talking about doing is we're taking the back here, but I don't see the holes that he has on the back. That's the problem I see.
Keep in mind that when you do
back it up just a little bit so you can see a hole, the slots in this.
the slots in the bottom, and we're going to put the finish side in. To do that, we need to turn this up.
So the slots near the bottom. Okay. So the slots go at the bottom like that. It goes this way. And then we're going to put our screws into the holes and put it together. So put it in the hole here. Make sure it lines up with the nut that goes right here. Oh wait, I'm going the wrong way. Doing this wrong. Be careful of that. Make sure I got that right.
And like this, and we're going to.
So we're doing is, you can see here I have the unfinished side here on the inside and the finished side on the inside here. Because on the back you don't care what it looks like. You're not going to never see the back of this box. Then we're going to take this screw, we're going to put it in here. We're going to make it line up with that hole. Which seems awfully weird to me, like it's way off on the, on the dimensions to me, but that's me. Okay, anyway. Seems like the holes are way off to me. But what do I know?
Match it up to the brackets we had on the back. Now, something to keep in mind, if I can show you from this angle, something to keep in mind, that when you do this, it is going to be lower than that floor panel. It's going to be lower here than that back panel. We're going to take 3 screws, go right into.
Yep. All right, so this is the way it goes, and got one screw in. I'm going to put my second screw in now. Maybe. Maybe I can get it in there. Maybe not. Come on. Doesn't want to go in for some reason. Don't know what's going on. Not wanting to go into the nut. Come on. What is going on with this thing? It's like it's off. I don't have it all the way in, so I don't know what's going on, why it's stopping me from going in. Need a little more room here. Got the hole lined up. Ah, damn sucker. There, got it. Now put my wrench. Okay. Hex L wrench. Start that screw in. the last one. And we'll make sure that gets lined up too. Yep, we got it in. It's going to slide apart on me while I'm trying to do this. Knocking pieces off into my trash can. Yes, I did. All right, all tight. That's tight. That's tight. And that's tight. All right. Now I got that with the back on. Now the top's going to need to go on. Can't put the sides on yet, because if you put the sides on, you won't be able to get it together. So we'll be going on something like that with the top. Now I'm not sure which side, finish side up or finish side up. Because you want to put it on your desktop and use it as a feeder for your spools. You don't want to see the wood. You want that on the inside, hidden places where you won't see it. Again, we have the same thing we just did with the brackets. They're all going to go now on. I'm going to put them on the top, and we'll mount them to the top side. So we'll take these, now if I get this one to finish going in, that would be a big help. Oh, that one goes all the way in, okay. That one goes all the way in. This one needs to go in. It's the way to go. Let's see, if that one goes on that way, that one needs to go in here. But it doesn't want to win. It's got too much junk inside. What's fighting me? That one in. Got two of them in, and this one takes the third one, but I'm not gonna put that in yet. I'm gonna put the third one in last. So what I want is, I think this is gonna go on the inside of this, because look at this, the way this mounts. I don't think that's gonna go that way. So I think that's going to go on the inside of it. So they're going to go like this and be inside. Because otherwise, this isn't going to work. That would be my guess. That goes that way. That'd be my guess. I might be wrong. No, he's putting them on the outside of the back. Okay. So he's put it on the outside of the back part. And we're going to go over here, and move that around, and we're going to go on the outside of the back part. We're going to go like so. I think that's the way it looks. Sometimes it's hard to tell what they're doing Oh, damn it.
Why is it so hard for hardworking people to find a pair?
Back panel here, and it's the finished side. This is going to be the inside, the bottom of the box. So the next part of this is we need to make 5 more of our little brackets here. And this is where you need to make a decision. If you were going to mount this to a wall, you need to put these brackets on different. If you're going to not mount this to the wall ever, then we'll do it a different way. So what I mean by that is if you're going to mount it to the wall, you want these brackets to be in this orientation. Okay? So you want to put your nut, you want to put a nut in this top one, and you want to put a nut in this top one. If you want to mount them to the wall, that flips and it mirrors. So if you want to mount it to a wall, these need to go this way with the wedge down, because this is going to act like a hook for the wall mount. This is purely aesthetic, and if you want to ever mount this to a wall, or you think you might want to just do it this way. So this will go in here like this.
Okay. So what he's talking about is how you mount this part. There's 2 ways you can mount this part. There's a way to, which I want to be able to at some point mount it to a wall. So in order to mount it to the wall, you need to actually put the nut in this way. So now you look at the bracket this way. You put the nut in this way, and you're going to mount the screw into it this way. And the reason for that is, this is going to be the hook that's going to go on a piece of wood that you'd have with a 45-degree angle cut in the wood, and then this will hang on that piece of wood. That's the idea. So you'd have a piece of wood that has an angle on it, and then you hang this thing on that. So it's going to go like this, and that wood's going to be an angle have a piece of angle like that. So it's going to go right down onto it, and this will just hang then on that piece of wood. But I don't know how to explain that to you any better. I have one mounted already on the wall downstairs, but it's not the same as what you're going to see. So what we're talking about is we're going to put the screw in. We're going to put it in just like this, and it's going to go in like that. And this becomes my wall mount. I was wondering why they didn't do it the same way they did last time. Last time they had basically a piece of 1x2 that they had already cut with the angle on it to do this. That's what they did in the original RepBox 1.1 or 1.0. So get this on here. So then I need the other nut can come out because that ain't the way it's going to go. This nut can come out because that's not the way it's going to go. That was the nut if I was going to mount it the regular way and not mount it to the wall. I can have it sit on my desktop or something like that. So if you ever want to mount it to the wall, you'll mount it the way I'm doing it right now. Take that one out. Okay. And then this one's going to go into this slot over here to allow the top to go on. Oh, I got it the wrong way. I have it on the wrong side. Put it on the wrong side. Dumbass. But you have to see me make the mistake. And I look at it and I go, oh crap. It's on the inside, not on the outside. It's supposed to be on the outside of the piece. So it should be the unfinished side. Try this again. Maybe. Come on. There we go. Go the other way. There. Try again here. And that's going to end up facing down like that. started. Good. All right. Not tight yet, but we're almost there. Strong. Good. Getting there. Oh, we got tight. Keeps falling out on me. Okay, so that first one in there and kind of tight. Now, I have no nuts in this one right now. So what I want is this one right here. I want to go in there like that. Let's put it on. No, can't go that way. It has to go that way. Okay, got it the right way. Make sure I have it the right way. And now we'll do that. I'm going to do the other end first. Screw in. Be faster than trying to turn the hex wrench. Okay, second one's on. Screw. And I get it the wrong way. God darn it. You know, I keep doing that. I keep putting them in the wrong way. Being stupid, huh? Of course, that one don't want to fit at all. Wow, tight. That one's a tight fit. So I'll take that one back off because I put it on the wrong side. So all the parts for this are laser cut. So a guy that goes by the name of A Pyro Design on Twitter and on YouTube, he has a big laser cutter and he cut all these parts for Pooch, or for Repcord, and so that's why they look so clean and neat. It's nice. Laser cutters do a nice job if you actually have a cutter. Don't buy one of these cheap ones that don't really cut anything. All they do is engrave. You know, in theory, you know, you see these printers that are made in China. They're using a 40 or 50 watt laser tube. They should be able to cut through this kind of material. It may take a couple of passes, or you may need to move a little slower. I'd say a couple of passes only because you might burn the material otherwise, right? You know, so if you try and do it in one pass, the laser has to sit there in a place longer, and since you're burning basically wood, it might actually catch fire. So that's the only thing I would say. That's why I say multiple passes over the part to get it to cut. I know. Now I dropped it before. I got this guy back. Got all those on. The top piece here is just going to go on just like that. Got to put the screws in it, or the nuts in it, to hold that in. And then we'll put that together. Gotta remember, on the two ends, we're going to have a third nut in these. So keep that in mind when we're doing this. So right now I've got one nut already in this one. I need one in this one. And then I need one in this one. Not too worried about the nut I dropped on the floor. I have nuts and stuff over in a box. I have extras. You know, if you've been building anything for any length of time in the world of 3D printing, you'll have extra hardware available to you to do these things with. Now I'm going to assume that this goes on the top, on the ends like that, because if I sit on my desktop, you want to see the finished side. If you're not on your wall, you never see it, but you don't care if it's on the inside. If the unfinished side is on the inside of the box, you'll never see it. And the reason I put the finished side on the outside on the bottom and on the inside on the bottom is because if you hang on the wall, you'll see the bottom. So you want to be able to see the black instead of seeing the board itself. Where'd it go? Where's my hex nut? Oh, there it is. So, just about that. Started them all by hand, as you can tell, and then just going to finish this up with the hex wrench to tighten. Don't want to tighten too tight because you got to put the sides on it. You want to make sure everything fits up nice and flush when you're done. If you leave it a little bit loose, it'll give you a little bit of play, and then you go back through and tighten everything when you're done. So that gives me those three pieces there. Let's see. That's going to go like that, and like that, and then it's just the front of the box going on. There's nothing to the front. I think that's it. I think I can put this like that. Bring one of my sides together here. Which side do I want to make the side? I think I'll make that the other side. I'll make that this side. So we're going to put that on here. Put that on here. Turn this piece. That's why you had to be able to angle it. Maybe. Can't quite get this one to line up. Don't know why. Not want to line up. I'll be stopping it. That. Why is there three on this side? Oh, I know what that's for. Never mind. Okay, so I got all three of those lined up now. Now I can go through and start putting in my my screws into the nuts on the sides here that I've already, if I got them in. I think these ones I had in. The ones in the front. Maybe. Didn't I? Yeah. So I see the hole. Not wanting to start this off just by a little bit on the one side, which is stopping me from getting that in. Ah, come on. Did I get it? Yes, I did. Alright, got the first screw in. There's another screw that goes right here. And I don't, yeah, I do have a nut in that one. So I can, hopefully it lines up. Looks like it does. Got it. Do 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 do. So it's a lot of fun, huh? Like watching paint dry. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I gotta get that other that I didn't put in, and I got that in a wedge here, and I don't know if I can get it in now. Wrong screw anyway. Wrong nut. Screw nut. May not be able to get these in. May have to loosen that up and put that in. Turn that over this way. Let's see. It's this one right here. Maybe get the nut in there. Oh, no, it just slid out on me. So I'm going to use my hex wrench as a guide to kind of hold that in for me. And maybe I can get the darn thing to go in. And maybe not. Really fighting me. Tell, I got it in, but I can't tell if it's far enough in. Should put those in first. So remember to do that if you buy one of these, to put those nuts in first. That's lined up. Put this one in. Yep, sure did. Got it lined up perfect. Nice. All right, so that one's done. And just repeat on the other side. Put this one here, on there. But what I want to do before I do that, I want to get that nut in there. Because I don't have it in there. I might not be able to right now because that screw is sticking out so far that it's in my way. The screw is sticking out so far I can't get in there and put the hex nut in. Because it's only half the thickness on this side and it is over here because I got two pieces that are holding that sandwich that piece of plastic and everything. So I gotta back that up a little bit so I can put that nut in. Maybe. Get it in there. No. Turned on me. Gotta get it in straight, that's the problem. And it's not wanting to go, it's being a pain. Like something's in the way. Okay. All right, got that one in. Well, I got it here, might as well go ahead and put the other one in. It's gonna give you the same problem the other one did. Oh, I got one in there, that's why. Never mind, one's already in there. All right, so now we just put the other side on. Just like we did the other one. Like that. So little slots to line up, maybe. Got them all. Done. Put the screw in here. That started right off, no problem. See if this one starts with no problem. Yep. Put that one in. Another one to go here. Right, okay. And yes, that started with no problem. And that's it. Now all three of those started with no problem. Ah! Thought I had it started and it just pulled right out. I was looking for my hex wrench. I don't, it's buried there on my tools. And my nut came out. Isn't that wonderful? I know I put a nut in there, you guys watched me put it in there, and now it's not there. That's all in the way. Take them back off. Going in there, and now it's not there. No. Maybe I didn't. Hate when it turns on you when you're trying to do something and it just wants to turn instead of actually going in. Okay, it's in. Like that. That one, and one right here. find the one I loosened up. Right here. The one I loosened up to put the nut in that time. So the screw was in the way. And that's done. Alright, put the box up to that point. Now, the way this works is there's a front that goes on here, which is right here. This is going to go on like so. And there should be a hinge. And I think the hinge goes on the inside is what I think the way I think it works. So that's the way that should work. And then the hinge will allow it to fold up like that. Now they might have mounted the hinge on this first, and that might have been a better way to do this, but that's okay. I'm not really concerned too much about that. I know the hinge goes on here. I know there's also something goes on here to hold the plexiglass on this frame. And we have another part that's here. Oh, that goes on the inside. I should put that in first. It goes on the inside here. And I can't put it in with the side on. That's a problem. Didn't think about that. That's going to be a problem. I need to undo one of the sides. This part has to go in, and it goes in the middle, in between the two sides. I'm going to take one side off in order to put that in. Luckily, it's only 3 screws, so it's not like it's a big deal. Remember, I was commenting, how come there's 3 holes? And I go, oh yeah, that's right, I remember. And then I forget to put the part in. There's 3 holes in this slot. Because this goes in there. And then this goes on and holds all that together. Maybe. I'll line up now. I hate when it does that. Why is it not wanting to go together now? I just took it off of there. The only thing I did was put that piece in place. Why is it doing that? Why is it not wanting to go together now? There we go. Got it. All right. So what that piece is for, when you put the bearings in there that hold this, that allow the spools to turn inside, that actually creates a track for those to ride in. So you can move them back and forth depending on how wide your spool is. Because some spools, for some reason, people don't want to seem to standardize, and so the spools, some of them are wider than others. And then also you get sample spools, and sample spools sometimes are really small spools, and then you need to put it close together. For example, this is a sample spool right here. So here's a sample spool. It's really narrow compared to a regular, let's see. compared to a regular spool of filament. So here's a regular spool of filament and a sample spool of filament. And you see the difference in the width. They're really different width-wise. So you want to be able to move these things around so that your spool fits properly in the box, on the bearings. So that's the reason that piece is in there. It keeps the bearings straight, so they aren't cocked at an angle. Otherwise you'd be fighting with them all the time. They'll always be turning on you and be at an angle and won't fit right, and you know, things like that. Okay, so we got all that together now. So our box is starting to look like a box. Alright. So I took all these little grommets out because that was on a 2.1. These might go in, even though if I wanted to go right in the front here, I can put them in the front and block all these holes off, or I can put it in the bottom and block all those holes off. It was just to block the holes up. And that's basically what it's all about. So there's a couple more brackets that need to go in here to hold the top on. But they're going to be a little differently, I think. They might actually mount, you know, more like this. I don't know. Maybe. Can't tell. Nope, they're going to mount like that. They're going to mount this way. For whatever reason. Okay. So, that's going to go like that. I got to remember the hinge has to go on here, so that's one of the other process we have to do. Figure out how that's going to go on. So the way we're going to put this on, in my case, is it's obviously, let's see, yeah, it goes on top. So you're lifting it up this way. The latch goes down here on the bottom, but I don't see how you're mounting the latch anymore. Might be, oh, it's probably a hole, yeah, the hole in the plex, in the plexiglass. So, yeah, that's what we're doing. As I was saying, I can move this out of the way for right now. Get all these parts over here out of my way, so I don't push them off on the floor. Push the box back here to the back of the table. Bring that here. We're going to flip this over. We're going to grab our plex and we're going to peel the sheeting off of it. It's already pre-drilled with holes. There's going to be a set of screws that are going to go in. I might go get some window cleaner here in a minute because this raises a lot of static, and any dust at all is going to stick to this. So, what you heard talk about, there's a larger hole here. This is the hole that's going to have the handle that goes in it. Can't really see it. Can you see it now? You can see it there through my closet, back there in the back. So that's where the handle is going to go. So that goes toward the side where the pooch, where the rep cord box is. And you can put it in this way. And you put all these screws through the front panel, from the front going through, and then through the plex. And same thing all the way around. So these screws are going to go in all the way around and hold that in. Put the second screw in. Using the table to hold the screws in. Put the third one in, maybe, if I can find the hole. Three. Number 4. Almost. Come on. There, 4. The box is in the way. Come on. We want to quite go in. Almost lines up, but not quite. There we go. 5. Again, I get started and I can force it through. 6. Now there's 2 sets of holes on here, because one's for the hinge, one's for the plex. The inner holes on this side, on the top, are the holes for the just holding the plex. The upper ones are the ones for holding the hinge. Two more and I'll have all those in and hold the frame to the plex. Alright, so I got all, and then one fell out, of course. Of course, one has to fall, right? Alright, got all those in.
Then we're going to take our larger piece here and
So we have one of these pieces. Can't tell which one's which. But one of these has got a step in it. He says larger piece, but I don't see it as a larger piece, and this doesn't have 4 holes, and only got 3 holes. So it's obviously not that piece. So larger he meant by this. This is the larger of the 2, and it has 4 holes in it. And we're going to put it in like so. Maybe. Get the hole line up. There we go. Got 1 hole. Okay. Got 3 of them. 4 of them. There we go. All 4 holes. And I think we're just going to put probably lock nuts on them.
put that. Finish side up. So that piece will go on like this. Okay, so that's the bigger, thicker piece, and that's down by your handle.
Oh, I see. So then there's a couple of smaller pieces that go in. We're going to put on the sides.
Then what we want to do is take our side pieces here, and those are going to go on like this. And there's going to be a couple of slots. You can see them here, and those go towards the bottom of the door here.
Which is toward the top.
So this will go on, it'll get pushed in.
So he says the bottom of the door, but it's not the bottom of the door, it's the top of the door. So ignore what he said in his video. It goes on just like that. This is for the hinge, or the mechanism that holds it and supports it. Not the hinge itself, but the mechanism that holds that open. So it'll stay open when you're loading filament in. So that's the idea, and that's what that's for. Come on, get in there. And then you got one more piece like this, which is thinner, which only has 3 holes in it because there's only 3 screws on this side, where there were 4 on this side. And that's going to go on like so, and it lines up then with the whole frame all the way around. And now we should be putting on our
And it'll look just like
nuts.
that. And the top is going to have our hinge, because this is going to open up like this. The next step is to install our hinge. So what we need is that other top panel here, and This is going to matter based on the orientation you want your exit holes. In my case, I want the exit holes in the back, so I'm going to use
So my
these
top
holes
doesn't
here.
have any
If you want your
holes,
exit holes
so
in the
totally
front,
ignore that
you
completely.
would spin this around, and your exit holes would be closest to this glass or to the frame we just built. Like I said, in my case, I want my
So that's not something I gotta worry about. But,
exit holes in the back of the top of this box. And so what I'm going to do is put 2 screws right into here, and we're only going to do 2 right now. So push up from the bottom, push up from the bottom, and lay that right there. And take your hinge, and you want this is your hinge. Then take your hinge, and you have this seam, where the hinge is actually at. And we're going to put that face down, and we're going to put it right on.
okay, so what he's talking about is, okay, now I'm gonna turn this around so you can see. I had my screw fall out again. One screw that keeps falling out because it's loose on that one hole. All the holes are tight except for that one. And I don't know why we aren't putting the nuts in yet. I'm going to put a nut on there. I'm tired of it falling off. There's no reason for it to not be on. Let's put it that way. Okay. And that'll keep that from falling out all the time on me. Okay, so what he's talking about, we're going to put the hinge on here. So the hinge looks like this. If I can open the damn thing up. Okay. So we're talking about the hinge side here. That goes down. Just like this. We're going to put it on just like that. We're going to line up some holes. Maybe. I can only get like 4 holes to line up on this. So, and they don't really line up, per se. Try it the other way just to see if it makes any difference. Okay, well, no difference. It's still going to fit the same way. So I'll put a screw through here on the front. It's got to go through the frame, through the plex, and then the hinge is going to go on that. So what he was talking about, he's only putting in 2 screws to get it lined up. Then put the hinge on there, like this, like that. So we take a top hinge clamp, which is this guy right here, and we'll put it over the top of those 2 screws, and we're going to go. Oh, it's the top of the 2 screws that go on this top. This is what he's working on. So he's doing it with the top, and he's putting those 2 screws in, and then he's gonna. So I'm gonna take this off, and then we'll do basically the way he's doing it right now. What I'm gonna throw some nuts on here, just so I don't lose things, so they don't fall off on me. There's no sense in me having things fall apart. I put one on just to hold the one from that was always falling out. But they're moving things around a lot, and things tend to fall apart sooner and faster. And then they end up on the floor somewhere, and God knows where. I can always take this off if I need to, but at least they're holding the screws in place so they aren't falling out on me and I don't lose them. All right, so what he's talking about is we're gonna put, I'll put that up here out of the way. So I'm gonna put it in like this and line up 2 of the screws. So we've got 2 screws, we're gonna move this to my edge so I can get to it. I'm gonna put a screw in here, which will just fall out if I don't do this. And I'm gonna put it like that. And then I will put another screw on the other side. So what we're talking about is this piece goes on, and we're gonna put it on the inside here, like that. And for now, I'm going to temporarily put a nut on there so I don't lose it. Now he put the finish side up. I guess I put the finish side up. Doesn't matter which way I put it, because no one's going to see this, by the way. It's on the inside bottom edge, inside top edge, where no one's going to see it. But I'll turn it around. I'll put back that hole. Put that hole. Then we need to turn this that way. Oh, wrong way. Right, that way. Then we'll line that up. Get that on. Put a temporary nut on there. Grab another screw. And repeat. Okay, if I get the damn hole line up. Put that one on there. And we'll put another temporary nylock on there. Pull that out of the way. And I got that on there.
That we just put in with the hinge underneath it. And we're going to grab a couple of nylock nuts and tighten that down. This is a very important part. There
you go. Put the nylock nuts on and tighten it up. I already put them on. So I already did it. I already did that part of it, but I didn't tighten them. So I'm going to stand this up. Take my plex and move it out of the way for right now. Someplace safe. Get over the top of my trash can. And I'm going to flip this up like that. And I'm going to tighten these up. So now once I get this in here this time, of course. Now the way he's doing it, you could have done this first. You could have done it before you put the sides on and everything, but it doesn't matter. It's obviously going to work the same way no matter how I do it. So I just did that. Now you should be, the next step should be attaching the this frame to that. Which looks like he may have a little different thing going on here. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
this handle will turn. If you do not have the seal kit, you don't have to do that part. Now what we need to do is take the piece here and grab a couple of our little square nuts, and they're going to go in right in the sides here. So there's going to be 1 and 2, and they just push in each side. Install our lock into the door. So we're going to press it through the front.
Kind of
and we want to make sure that when we do this, that we install it so the lock is locked while the key is horizontal. So I have that up. I got the nut that needs to go on it. We're going to spin that down and lock that in. Now we don't want to over tighten because we don't want to break that acrylic. Then
There.
what we need to do is make sure that we're in the locked
Off a
position,
little bit.
which would be straight up and down, and put our screw back in the end of our lock. So I'm going to hold that. You can kind of see, and it'll hold itself in place once you get a little tighter. There we go. So now what we have is our lock installed, and you can see it on both sides here. So the key is here, the lock is here, and when we turn that key, it'll unlock itself. Just like that. Step 14, we're going to start installing these side panels. In my case, I have some custom panels that these guys sent me, and they are awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and flip that over. Then I'm going to take my base MDF panel and stick it right on top, just like this. Then we have a couple more of these little red brackets left, if you remember these. What we need to do is push a square nut down through the center of it so you can use the center hole. From there, we reach underneath and push a screw in from the back. And this one needs to go through, in my case, the outer plate, and I'm going to flip this around. So if you see this, this is the top corner of the bracket up here. Then we're going to take this, and it needs to go on that screw, and it needs to screw in that orientation right there. Okay?
Okay, so what he's talking about is this bracket here, and putting one in to the center here, so that it fits in, and make sure it lines up. Now for some reason I didn't get any plates on mine, which is unusual. Usually plates that go over the side of this, no matter how you build it, but it's whatever. So we're going to have this facing this way, basically is what we're going to do, toward the front, with the angle toward the front. And we're going to put that on here, and we're going to put it into this hole, and then into that nut. And it fits perfectly on top of this little bracket. Now I like doing it this way because it makes sure that's lined up, and that's a nice thing. And you do the same thing on the other side. If I get the darn thing started, I already got it started, but I'm gonna get my wrench on here. Move this out of the way again. Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I don't know why I didn't get any brackets for this, any side panels. I know I ordered side panels when I ordered this, so I don't know what happened to my side panels. I did not receive them, so I'll have to contact Pooch on that. I say, hey Pooch, what the hell? I opened my box and there's no side panels. One of these, man, they're kind of dirty little prints here. Square that in there. Get it pushed all the way in. Maybe, maybe not. There, got it in. Yep. And then we'll put this one on this side. And that's gonna go like that. Get that started. Get my wrench over here. Oh, it's not, what the hell? It's like it got cross-threaded or something. It's not going in. Or the nut's bad. Little things don't quite work. I don't know what's stopping that. There's nothing to stop it, so it's got to be the thread is messed up on this part. Yep. It just won't go through that part. A bad nut. Or a bad screw. I know all us guys, we hate a bad screw. Let me try a different screw just to see if it's the nut or the screw. It's the nut. Okay. Get that nut out of there. Maybe. Can't get it out now. You get a bad nut and then you can't get it out of there. And it keeps jamming right. I get it part way out and then I go to catch the edge so I can pull it out and it slides back in. It's very painful. Bad nut. Bad nut, bad nut. Can it prove that? Nope, not a bad nut. So what was stopping it? That's very strange. The hole's good. What was stopping it from going? Try again. Yeah, as soon as I get it in there, it jams. Okay, now it's going. That was weird. That was really strange. It acted like a bad nut because of the way it was going. And I tried 2 different screws, did the same thing, it bound, and now it works fine. Really weird. Okay, so that's done. Unfortunately, I don't have side rails, side panels. Let's see, I'm going to loosen this up a little bit. A little bit loose now, that allows me to kind of slide that around a little bit. Okay. Now I should go take this front panel, where the hell the fuck it is now, right there. Sorry, excuse my language. Lost the screw. Now, the way he said this is supposed to go is you go the other way. I don't know why.
And press it in.
Why would you want
Make sure it's tight.
to have the nuts showing from the outside? Spacing on the video, that doesn't make any sense. I'm laughing at some of the stuff he's doing, but okay. There was no reason for him to put the nuts or the screws through the back way and go down through. Absolutely none. It looks dumb. It makes it look unfinished. I would not do it that way. I'm going to do it from the other way. I'm going to have my screws come up from the front and go in, and it will hold my stuff together. And that's the way I'm going to do it. I don't like having an unfinished look. And he has an unfinished look with the nuts sticking out the back. So this is going to go on here. This is going to go on here. Should be a couple of more I can put in. Put a couple couple more through here. Let go and so I can put the nut on. Put that nut on there. Then come over here and get the final screw here. Maybe I can get it through, maybe I won't. Come on. It's gonna fight me now. Right? The way it always is. It has to fight. It's not even coming through the plat. There we go, got it. So the last will screw in. Now we're gonna go through and we're gonna tighten this up. I'm gonna stand it on its edge. Like that. I'm going to kind of tighten them up. I want to make sure this is lined up. What we're saying by lined up, you can see here that it's a little bit off. If I let it go, it's got a big gap on this side, no gap on this side. I want to center that a little more. So I'm going to move that up a little bit. So I'm going to do it after I tighten things up a bit because it's too loose right now that nothing will hold. Wrong way. Right? Yep, oh, wrong way. Loosened it up instead of tightened it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put something under this. Kind of hold it up. I have not as much gap on this on that side as I do currently. Kind of centering it. It seems like it wants to have more gap on the other side. Getting there. Mine does not have the seal kit, so I won't be putting the seals in. So that's something we can ignore on mine. It wasn't offered when I bought mine. Don't need that anymore. That should leave me fairly square, fairly decent. Yet for the rest of it to work. I don't like the unfinished look of the nut sticking on the outside. I don't know why he did that. That is not something I would have done at all. I would have put the screws through the front and had the finished button head look instead of a nut sticking up. That didn't make any sense to me. I don't know why he did that. Thumb's starting to hurt. One that I had 7 surgeries on. Okay. Just a couple more things to do. This opens up smoothly now. It's as centered as I can get it with the way the hinges are. This will go on like so. Take it off. This will go on like so. Open and close the door. There should be a couple of screws that go into that. A couple of nuts that go in here also. Like that. What I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put some tape over the end of that. So the nut doesn't fall out on me while I'm trying to put the other nut in, because it's already wanting to fall out. So I can take off when I'm done. Once I get the screws started, I can take the tape off. Take it off before, because you may have tape that gets stuck underneath and it'll be a pain getting it off. And you don't want to deal with it. Trust me on that. Another one in. Maybe. Try again. Another one in. I have this tape and it's stuck to my table now. Put it on. This one I like to hold the nut in so it doesn't fall out on me when I'm trying to put the screws in. And I guess one of the advantages you could say he did is he used all the same size screws for everything. Which is kind of nice, right? Because it makes it easier when it comes to assembly. You don't have to search for different screws. They're all the same. That one started. That one started, yep. Now you take this tape off and get it out of the way. Take that tape off and get it out of the way. And now we just need to use our hex wrench and tighten these guys up. Turn that over. I have no other parts that go with this. I have to assume that that's all there is to that. The screws seem like they're a little long to me, like they're going to go right through this whole thing. Should be something that goes behind this and not just this. But that's what it is. I guess it goes all the way up inside of this piece, the handle. There we go, that one's in. I guess I didn't need to break that handle away because I don't have it doesn't have the latch for this either. My kit doesn't have the latch either. I might buy one myself. You know, it's just a standard latch off the shelf from a hardware store you can buy. And I've used them before for other projects of my own, so it's not a big deal. I like having a latch. I like being able to close the door and keep it closed. And maybe I'll go ahead and I'll turn this into a sealed box myself. And do whatever I want. So it's going to go like that. Normally you have the latch that goes on this side here. So when you turn it, it turns the latch. So that's good. This piece needs to go on. It goes on here. With the slots going toward the box. It's going to go in this way. Like that. And that will take care of that. Not trying to get in the hole. That one started. I can tell it's not in all the way anymore. one started. Drop the wrench on the floor. Now this goes on here. There's a couple of slots in here. That's going to go in this slot here and this slot here. We'll put it in this one first, and then I'm going to slide it into this one while everything is loose. That way I've got a little bit of room to work with. Maybe. Slide it in there. Come on. Why is it not wanting to go in there properly? It's like it doesn't want to line up exactly right. Says it's right, but it's not holding, not sticking, not going in. What the heck? Nothing to stop it. There. Ah, you piece of crap just popped out on me. Had it in there and then it popped out. And now it's in again. Okay. That was crazy. And then another one on this, they go on this side. Oh, and of course, everything's going to fall apart on me now. Really? I know I had these together. I know I had... Nope. You're not saying the nut's not started. Man. I swore I had that started. But I didn't have to deal with that. You know, all three of them came out on me. All right, that one's in, that one's in. And now that doesn't want to line up properly again. There, got it. Now that one's out because the last screw isn't in yet. Almost. In. In. Last one. It's funny, it's like Pooch included part of the seal kit, but not the rest of the seal kit. Yeah, there's this part which is part of the seal kit. We didn't provide the other parts. And so I'm laughing about that because it's like he couldn't make up his mind or something. I don't know what the deal is. All right, that one all the way in. That's tight. And that's okay. All right. The box is done. Nothing more to do on the other than put these latch things on, and they go on. There's a place in here they go, and then they'll fit into this hole to hold it in place. They have to find the hole somewhere for this. I don't know where. Right here. So the hole right here that this goes on, and then it's going to fit into like that hole there, that slot. When you're done, that holds it in place and keeps the door from closing. And I don't know which way it goes. Whether it goes this way, probably this way. And go on each side. So I'm going to put it on like that. put it through here. Grab a hex nut, nylock. Now, if you're gonna, when you put this nylock, you aren't going to want to tighten it all the way. I'm going to lay this on its back, so that way the door will stay open and not in my way. You just nylock, you don't want to tighten it all the way, but you want to tighten it most of the way. You want to be able to leave enough play in it so that this can turn in it. So this can turn like this in it. If you make it too tight, it won't turn. So that's what you're trying to avoid here. Oh, it broke it. It's bent. It's warped. So it's going to be a problem. And I just snapped the part. It seemed like, it felt like, it sounded like. No, that might be too tight. That might be good. Okay, that's good. And then do the same thing on the other side. Oh, I know it's here. Right there. Come on. You can see these are warped. I can see they're warped. If you can't, you should be able to see it in the video that they're warped. Oh, you can see how it bows. It bows like this. And that should be good enough. All right. Away for right now. Wonderful. That doesn't work very good, does it? How is this supposed to work? I don't like that. They can't fit on the inside. Oh, like that. Just like that. So they're out of the way. All right. So there is our RepBox. Yay. I'll turn it around so you can see in the video here. Maybe. I'll lift it up. There's our RepBox. The box is done. Other than the latch, which I need to buy a latch because it didn't come with one in this kit. But I'll buy a latch. Need to clean the glass. I knew it would hold everything in the world because it's all full of static now. I'll close up the bottom holes with these plugs, but you don't need to watch me do that. There's these plugs that go in. This is where your filament's actually going to go through, and you need to put them where your filament's actually going to go. So you may not know where your filament's going to go to start. And but yeah, you want to get this in here. Nice. You know, the three of those hex holes on this was because that way it allowed you to put this one over here and into that one. That one into that one. This isn't working so great. It's not a very great, not a very great design. It's very flimsy. A little bit too bad, right? Because you really think, okay, so there's a hex hole on this. So, depending on which way I want to go. You know, I can go through this way, and then the hex will fit inside. So I put the hex inside, it'll fit inside that hole. You screw it right in like that, and that will hold it. And then you just put this cap in. And clamp down on whatever you want to clamp down in the hole. Now I don't know what they were planning on clamping down in the hole. I'm assuming they were planning on screwing in like a regular like pneumatic fitting like we normally use for a lot of our stuff that we do in our 3D printing. You know, so I don't know what the plan was. I just put some in. Don't really need to put them all in. Get the hex to fall into the hole. Maybe. Then screw this down into that. Well, something like that. In there and in there. So it's starting to get a little dry now from, I don't know how long I've been doing this now. Too long. Some of the things I kind of knew how it was going to go together because like I said, this is I had a RepBox2 before. So I've assembled one before. So some of it I knew, but there's some slight changes. This hex pattern thing that they did, you know, which doesn't, obviously mine's kind of an interim in between those because the one video was a 2.0, supposed to be a RepBox2 video, but it didn't match what I have. So that kind of says I was in an interim stage. And then also he had the seal kit on his. I don't like this. That's not the way he did it on the first one. He used mechanical ones that actually open and close like a hinge, and I prefer that much better than this. This is a horrible, 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 horrible thing. Sorry, Pooch, but these are terrible. This is terrible. Those are terrible supports. These go into all the empties and all the empties on the bottom. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 holes. Weird. Why didn't you just basically make it 12 instead of making it 11? I don't know. That's something else. I would have made it 12. Made an even number rather than 11, but that's me. So what's left to do? What's left to do is to build the brackets or the bearings that hold all the spools of filament. And I threw apart the floor again. Okay, so what am I talking about? Where are the? Here are the parts. Here are the parts. These are the parts for building the brackets. They're laser cut. Pull them away from the piece here. Take it apart. I know people would think, oh, that'd be cute to throw that in the fireplace and burn those, but there's chemicals in that. This is like particle board, so there's chemicals in that. You know, like I think particle board, for one, it contains formaldehyde as one of the ingredients in particle board. So I would not recommend burning these. The scrap pieces of wood from the cutting that was done when these were made. So there's going to be 2 of these per piece, and then there's 2 bearings per piece. I'm going to show you how to do one. I'll stop here. I can break the rest of these away in a little while. I'll show you how to do one of these. So you put them like this with the straight sides on the outside, your bearing will be in the middle. And I believe, let's see, if I remember correctly. So here's my bearings. I think I only need 2 bearings. And if I remember correctly, these are all the parts for doing this part. I'm going to put all the rest of these pieces here away. I'm glad there's lots of extras. As I drop everything on the floor. That was good. I'm glad there was extra pieces because, you know, I dropped things on the floor like I did, and then it's like, oh, I gotta find that later. I'm gonna be short one. I'm gonna have to go searching. But I have extra parts. I got parts right here. Got lots of screws and nuts and everything available, so I'm not worried. Wasn't really worried about it. If I came up short, I just reach into my bag, my parts, and take care of it. You know, this will later get added. I'll sort it all out. The problem is these are all cap nuts. This is what's called button head, so they won't match. So I won't use those in what I'm doing right now. So these are round spacers. Obviously, they're going to fit right here, right in between these. And what's going to happen is you're going to take and put a screw through this. And I don't know what screws, but it looks like I got 2 different kinds of screws here. So I guess you can put multiple of these together at one time. You know, so that you can have one here and then another one. That'd be my guess. It's designed to do this right here, where it's one then another, right next to each other. Since you'd have spools next to each other, there's no sense in not having 2 of them next to each other, right? And the reason you got the other ones that are different is because when you at the end, you aren't going to have 2, you're only going to have 1. So that's the reason they're different. Shorter screws and longer screws. And that's the short and long of it. Ha ha ha. I don't know, I couldn't resist. I'm such a punny guy. Maybe. We didn't get through, maybe not. They come out too easy through the spacer. That one in. And we'll grab one more of these. And one more spacer. And then we'll put that through here. And push that through, and then we'll put a lock nut on. And a lock nut on this side. And that, my friends, is how you put these together. And where's my hex wrench? There. Grab that, and we'll tighten this up. And I'll show you how it works inside the box. I may have to move my one camera so you can see, because I am, unfortunately my camera's sitting over there, and you won't see inside as I'm trying to do this. As you already saw, I had to lift the box up for you to see the completed box. Okay. Let's take the camera and bring it down here so you can see. That up out of the way. Slide all this out of the way. Slide that over here out of the way. Careful with my X-Acto knife. Put the safety cover on my X-Acto knife. Okay, we're going to bring this over here. We're going to turn it this way so you can see. I'm going to grab the camera and bring it down so that you can see the RepBox. Here's the RepBox. I'm going to open the RepBox up. Move that out of the way. Move that one out of the way. Open our box up. We'll hold that up. And we'll hold this one up. Like that. So what happens is, you have this, it goes inside. You see these little feet on this. You see the little feet. They fit in the slot, in the back. You can slide it back and forth like this, inside. And they will twist a little bit, but for the most part they'll stay somewhat, that's going to get better. They'll stay somewhat straight, and you can move it back and forth and put your filament on it. Like I said, there's a couple of single ones that are going to go together, and they go on the ends because you're going to have two directly next to the end. So that's the way this works. So that's pretty much it for the RepBox. I can put these all together. You don't need to sit here and watch me build a bunch of these over and over and over again. You just saw one built. They're all done exactly the same way. There is no difference in these things. They're built exactly the same over and over and over again. So that's it. Hope you enjoy the video. Sorry it took me a little while. I just need to refresh my memory on some things. But once I got there, I remember, do this, do this, do this. But yeah, there's some slight differences from the first one. Like I said, the hinge was actually the two metal hinges that hinged in the middle, and when you pulled it open, it would lock. And then when you went to close it, you lift a little bit, and then you push it in, and then you let it go, and it'll fold back up and be out of the way. I like that one better. This, sorry Pooch, this sucks. Bring my camera down just a little hair. So that's it. This is Build It, signing off. Have a great one. Build it out. See you next time.